What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianna, and if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to pass your CNA skills and written exam the first time. I took my CNA skills and written exam about a year ago, and I passed it on my first time. And the first tip that I have is to read your book. There is no way that you can get around it. You need to read because you need to understand what skills are required in your state. And also in your state book, they also have practice questions that mimic the written exam. So you need to read that book front and back, because once you do that, you can kind of get a feel for what is required for, like, when you first introducing yourself to a patient and closing the curtain and stuff like that. And everything is state regulated when it comes to CNA. So it is very important that you read your book because everybody's state requirements are different. The second tip that I have is to learn how to properly wash your hands. That should be like one of the first things that they teach you, because if you don't know how to wash your hands properly, then you're gonna fail automatically, because that's the first skill that they ask you to do when you first take your test. So learn how to wash your hands, watch a couple YouTube videos. The second tip that I have is to make sure you know your vitals, your blood pressure. Well, make sure you know how to take your vitals. You know how to take blood pressure correctly. You know how to do pulse, respirations, weight, height, stuff like that. Make sure you know how to take that stuff and you know how to read it. And it also is important that you know the normal ranges. My personal tip would be to just give a normal range. Like, if you get lost and if you're like anxious and you're nervous and you really don't know what to say, then you just want to give something within the normal range, because normally the instructor is also doing, like, reading the same. Like, if you're doing blood pressure, the instructor also has like a stethoscope that can hear and that can determine the numbers as well. So you want to make sure that you are reading those correctly. And in my book, well, in Georgia when I took it, they give you like a number amount to be either up or down. So there is a little bit of leeway when it comes to your vitals and all of that, but you just really want to make sure that you know how to do them correctly anyway, because once you're in the field, like, that's going to be, depending on where you work, that's going to be a huge part of your job. So just make sure you know how to do that correctly. My next tip would be to watch YouTube videos for every skill that is in your book, because you don't know what skills you're going to be tested on. You want to make sure that you know how to do each skill correctly and as perfectly as possible. So watch somebody on YouTube do them, and I'm gonna list down below some videos that I watched that helped me with skills that I was having a hard time with. And yeah, so like I said, make sure you get those skills down pat. Go through every skill in your book and make sure that you know it. When it's time to take your test, you won't be surprised by anything, and you might get something that's not as hard. So just make sure you know how to do all of it. My last tip would be to be confident, because would you want somebody that's supposed to be caring for you to be nervous? So when you go in there to take your skills exam, the instructor is also looking at how you carry yourself and your demeanor and all of that. And they can tell if you're really nervous. So, like, try to not show that you're nervous, because nobody knows that you're nervous if you don't tell them, or if you don't act like you're nervous. So just keep that in mind, and just think of it as like, this is somebody that you know, or I don't know, like, just don't be shaken and don't be scared, because like when you're actually working as a CNA, you can't be like that, because you have to really care for people, and you have to touch them, and you have to do this, you have to do that. So you can't go in there scared, because I know if I'm a patient, I don't want nobody that's scared to touch me or do anything to me, because I'm gonna feel like, regardless of whatever certification they got, if they're scared, they don't know what they're doing. So don't be like that, because I feel like that is a sure way to fail. So just really study. There is like no magic way to like pass. Like, you really just have to know what you're doing and know what you're talking about. So the best way for you to do that is to prepare. Like I said, I took my CNA. I got it like a year ago. It's like almost exactly a year ago, and I remember being nervous, and I remember like trying to find videos to watch so that I can prepare myself to pass. And this is why I'm sharing this video with you all, because I have already been there and I've done it. And yeah, so I hope I'm not missing anything. If you have any questions or thoughts, leave them down below. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And yeah, I'll see you all in this next video. And let me know if you found this video helpful, because that really helps me with making my content.